Okay. Well, I think there's enough people to start this meeting. So welcome everyone to our second town hall for the month of July. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, we have several updates, not only from the core units, but also from the Central Foundation. So I think we can start with the committee updates. I don't know if there's Topic or HP. If not, the most recent update is that the hiring proposals for the appointment of the new committee member are about to have a close in, I think, 5 days. So I'm going to share the link for that for the ones that didn't have the chance to vote. And besides that, I think they have been working with the regular operations and transactions within the DAO, funding grants, etc. So no big updates, but please be our guest to continue voting on the hiring proposals. Okay, so with that said, I think we can jump into the governance squad updates. I'm also not seeing if there's someone from the governance team here. Okay, so I think we can skip that till someone joins. And well, as I mentioned, we have some updates from the foundation side. So welcome, Nacho, and I'll pass it to you.
I'm looking for the chat as well. Okay, cool. Well, Nacho here from Foundation. I'm the engineer manager of the dApps team, and I have two updates that I want to share. The first one is that we found an issue with the order creations in the marketplace. We communicated this yesterday in the Foundation Discord, but please go to the marketplace, connect your wallet, and if you see a message saying action required, you may need to update your orders. And that's all. So thank you for collaboration. I'm going to share in the chat the link so you can see it there better. And also the other update that we would like to share is that, as you may know, we released a Hans feature. It was a really good feature that also has been voted in the DAO. So if you are a creator, mostly an upper body creator, and we recommend you to go there and resubmit your wearables without the hands in the mesh, so they can be compliant with the new hands category. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Nacho, for that update. And well, if I know if you're gonna stay this whole meeting, but if someone
I'm going to stay. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So if someone has questions, we can have a space when we finalize with the regular agenda, and we start with the open forum to ask questions to Nacho about these two specific topics that he just shared. Besides that, the chat is open, so if you want to ask something to him or anyone else, just tag him. Thanks a lot again. I'm seeing HP here, so I'm inviting him to speak. Don't know if, again, there are significant updates. Just mention that the hiring proposals are coming to a close, so be my guest to give other updates if there are some.
Hey. Sorry. Yes, the biggest update this week is that we transferred 3 million mana from Aragon to our multisig, and that's about it. Then we did usual action, funding grants, passing POIs. That's about it.
Okay, perfect. Pretty much aligned with what I mentioned, so great. Thanks for that. Next thing are the facilitation squad updates. So I have 3 quick updates. The first one about the request for information first round. Basically what I wanted to share is that that first round for submissions of different questionnaires has closed. The votings have been also closed. So we basically forward the questionnaires to the foundation, and they are right now working to answer and to respond those different questionnaires. For that, I'm also going to share the link to the RFI tracker. Since this is the first round, I think there was not a huge engagement, but there were like really good questions. And let's hope, sometime during next month, the foundation will respond that. But there's the tracker, so you can track you can see the status and check the status of the different questionnaires. And whenever the foundation answers, we're also going to post it here and in other official channels. And with that said, in a few days, we will kick off the second round for RFI. And that means that while the... sorry, someone saying me that the link doesn't work. Wait a sec. Okay, well, I review the link issue later on, and I'll share it in the general chat. But you're going to find basically there the 3 questionnaires that have been submitted to the foundation, and later on you will find the answers to that questionnaires. Again, with that said, we're going to kick off the second round of RFI on the next few days. So we're going to open, as we did last time, another thread in the forum in the RFI category, and you're all again invited to submit your questionnaires about different topics for the foundation to give like complete and deep, in-depth answers to your concerns. And well, it goes kind of by the hand with this. Since we have the results from the AMA session survey that we shared a couple of weeks ago, we are currently working again close with the foundation to define what is going, or which is going to be like the best format for this from now on. And once we have like concrete definitions about that, we will share them with you. We will share the new dates for the AMA sessions that probably are going to change their name. And yep, that's basically all for AMA. What we want to do also with this like set of comms that we're going to working on is that like to reinforce the idea that AMAs might not be like the best place to get support for specific things that need immediate response from the foundation, and that you also have different channels as Kani for feature requests, the support channels in the Discord of the foundation, and well, now we also have the RFI for in-depth analysis of different topics. So again, we are going to send a communication with the new format of these sessions with the foundation, and we are going to reinforce the comms on the 3 different or 4 different ways that we have as community to reach out to the foundation. And the last one on my end is a quick update on strategic planning. So basically, we were still working with Lorelike on the summary of for the last session that we had for the comparative analysis, and he has put together a really nice presentation. We're going to share it during next Monday. I can't recall what's the time for that meeting, but we're meeting on next Monday. So again, you're all invited to be part of that meeting. We are discussing, like summarizing everything that we discussed last session. And we're also going to start discussing about specific objectives and goals of 3 of the different areas of interest that we've defined, such as participation and incentives, financials, and I can't remember the last one. But well, if you go to the events channel, you'll find the agenda. And with that, I'll pass it to Fractilians.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here today. And to start, I just wanted to do a couple little reminders like I did last time. If any of you guys have any events, please remember to use the community calendar. So
Nat, I think I know if it's me, but it sounds like metallic or with
really?
echo.
Ooh,
yeah.
I don't know what I can do.
Just speak closer to your mic.
Okay, cool. I have like a really crappy mic. I need to get a better one. Is that better or no? It's the same.
Yes, it's better.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to remind everyone that we do have a community calendar, and if you guys have any events, we'd love it if you'd submit it to that. And I've just pasted that link to the form there. And we also have the request for promo, and that's for the grantees and everyone in the community. Feel free to use that as well. And here I pasted that. So I'm also happy to announce that next Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be hosting our first Brick by Brick Builders Club with our special guest, KJ Walker. And this is an education-inspired focus meetup. We'll be kind of focused around showing behind-the-scenes workflow tools of the creator community. And each session will feature and highlight a different creator, dev, or community member. For this particular session, KJ will be showcasing and talking about her build for Metaverse Art Week and giving us a behind-the-scenes look at that. So I hope you guys can all join us for that. It will also be recorded if you can't make it, and will be shared on YouTube. And I am continuing to create posts across all our socials. And if any of you guys are here and new and want to catch up on all things Decentraland DAO, YouTube is probably one of the best places. We have a bunch of our recordings, workshops, town halls, and everything's up there. And also excited for today, we have an awesome in-world meetup after Town Hall. For today, we have Doug from NFT World, and he will be our tour guide. And also, all those who attend this portion will be receiving their newly released Egyptian wearable, which looks super cool. And then also the MTVRS coin to spend in their marketplace. So hope you guys can all join us for that. And thanks, Doug. I see you in the chat. Thanks for being here. And with that, I'll pass it back to you, Fede. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Nat, for that. And I think that will be all for our Facilitation Squad updates. So I'll pass it to Fifi.
Hey there. How are you, community? So I want to know from where you are listening to us today. Can you tell me in the chat? Meanwhile, I will try to share my screen. Yes, you are all perfect. I think we are there. So meanwhile, I'm sharing the agenda for today from the Grand Support Squad. Are you seeing my thing right? You are seeing my screen? Discord is there? Oh, God.
I was going to say, should we be watching the Discord? Or?
No, you shouldn't. But it's going to be a quick, I can do it without the presentation. Don't worry. So first of all, the monthly update is being published. We shared last week our last update. So there you can find all our metrics and all the thing we have done for this year. I wanna, the things I wanna share that we are working on the swags. It's getting really, really cute. So soon, next month, we'll be starting the production of all that gift that all the grantees will receive. So be prepared for that. We are going to ask your address, and soon you're going to have it in your place. So about documentation, well, we are documenting our processes. So we had made a first selection of processes from our team to be documented as a manual of operation from the Grand Support Squad. So in that way, we are going to provide transparency on how we do our work, and to contribute to the Web3 ecosystem by generating open knowledge about the DAO grants program for reference. So we are studying that. Next, we have the community builders category. So as you all know, last week we had a very nice open session to gather feedback about the idea of create this new category to recognize community builders. As part of our next step after the session, we have created a poll in the governance app, so you can enter there. The link is here in the chat, and start voting. So it's all from our side, but we have our grantee time. Today we have Dark Dungeons and Catalyst. So, Fractilians, if you can help me with that.
Which one would you like first?
Dark Dungeon from Russia with love.
Santi is happy to welcome you at this short video presentation of an alpha version of the Dark Dungeons project.
I'm watching the stream.
We've been working on this project for more than 3 months already, and we've managed to do quite a lot so far. Let's go through some of the tasks we've finished. We wrote scripts, dialogues and fights. We designed 3D models, textures and animations. We drew 2D pictures, including interface elements, and many more. Now let's check the current development stage of the project. Now we are on the land. We can play the game alone or together with other players. Let's make up a team. For that, you click here, and now you are the leader. As you can see, our character got a sign. Other characters can click at it to join the team. Let's do exactly that. Reconnect from a different profile. Done. Now let's enter. Here is the first location. Hello Geralt, we'll see you later. Let's go to the shopkeeper first. I need to mention that colliders are turned off for now, therefore I can go through walls, which is convenient at the development stage. So now we see the dialogue with the shopkeeper. At the moment we can buy only potions from him. As you can notice, we have only 5 coins now. Let's buy a potion. 4 coins are left, and the potion is in our inventory. Sure, it's only a draft of the interface and later it will be improved. Meanwhile, we return to Geralt. He says that Lord has been behaving strangely recently. Let's ask him why. Geralt says we better go and ask shopkeeper instead. So we go to him again. This time there is a new option for the answer. This is an example of how the dialogue system can affect the gameplay. Right, we need to get to the Lord's party. In order to do that, we need an invitation, which we don't have obviously. Here you'll be able to find a tradeswoman selling luxurious dresses worthy of Lord's party. These dresses will be wearable NFTs, which could be bought for mana. Though these dresses don't mean you'll be allowed to get in, they boost your charisma stat, which will surely increase your chances of getting in. On the other hand, you can try and get a pass cut. For instance, from that suspicious guy. But we won't do it this time. Let's go to the palace instead. And here it is. There is a guard at the entrance who doesn't let me in. So let's talk to him. He asks to show us the invitation. Well, I don't have any, so this option is definitely not for us. Trying to fool the guard isn't the best idea either. Given my charisma score, the risk is too great. So let's just fight him. Now we see the battle menu. Here you can fight all the participants of the battle. In order to choose the opponent to attack, just click on his image. After that, you have to choose an attack option and throw the D20. Unfortunately, the D20 is not working properly at the moment, but we are working on it. This time, let's just win him. As you can see, D20 remained. This should not be like that, but this is a temporary solution for debugging code. After winning, you can go inside. And here is the Lord's Castle. Here players will have to make a lot of decisions and solve several problems. You can kill the Lord in this location, or go down to the basement and try to unspell him, but this won't be easy. As you can see, each plotline will have several ending options. We will be collecting statistics on how many players have reached this or that ending. The ending that most players will come to will be considered canon, and the following plots will be created based on this particular variant. Thus, the decisions of the players will determine the future plots. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Visit our Discord channel and leave your feedback about the project. We are putting a lot of effort into implementing this game, and your support is very important to us. But besides support, criticism is also vital to us. So let's discuss the project and share ideas. Thank you and see you soon.
Amazing. So here in the chat, I'm putting their Discord. So if you wanna share some thoughts or you have questions for them, you can contact them there. So yeah, next we have Catalyst.
How we doing, Decentraland community? How we doing here to talk about our latest DAO grant, the DAO-owned Catalyst archival node. We're really proud about this one, so I'll take a few minutes to walk through why we did this, how to use it, and how you can be a part of this initiative going forward. So first we'll talk a little bit about why we kind of decided to do this initiative and why we and some of our supporters thought this was important to do. So first of all, we wanted to create a Catalyst node, a place where you can pull data from that was not also being actively used to play Decentraland on. There's always a concern about the bandwidth and the sort of load that each of the nodes can experience. And so we wanted to make sure that builders could rest assured and they could use APIs with data to get, images from the Catalyst or content or anything that is needed to build apps or decentralized apps against it without affecting the quality of play of the node itself. So that node is up and available. The other reason is to create a new set of APIs that are a little bit more fit for purpose when reporting and creating kind of applications that show data or kind of dive deeper into the data, as opposed to data that the Decentraland protocol itself needs to render the game and kind of make all of the core applications work. But most importantly, we wanted to make sure that we persisted and have a backup of some of the earliest data that we could get our hands on in Decentraland. So thank you to everyone who contributed. Special shout out to HP, who was able to provide us with the data source. So now it's at least hosted one other redundant place, and so hopefully it can live on beyond any one individual. Okay, so as this was a platform contribution initiative, all of the code that we are talking about today is open source. It could be found at this URL, and I'm sure I'll leave that behind for people to explore and play with. Just a quick overview of the repo in case you do plan on playing with this. There's kind of 4 microservices that, for simplicity, we're stitching together using Docker Compose. So we have an API microservice, and that's the kind of externally facing content that we'll look at in just a minute. But that's what most people are going to actually utilize as part of this project. We have a backup microservice, which is really meant to take data out of the SQL database that's part of a Catalyst node and make sure that gets backed up. And we're using Amazon Web Services for our backup, their S3 service. So that kind of dumps the database, creates that backup so you can restore from where we left off. There's a sync service, which for some of the content, it's not really effective to push all of that up all at once on a periodic basis, as it is several terabytes. So the sync microservice is intended to run listening to your content folder, and anytime there's a new file, and by definition the new file will have a new name because all the files are named after their hashes, that will get up to the backup so that we can persist that too. And then there's a cron microservice, which kind of just orchestrates for some of the backups, some of the derived data. They need to be run daily or weekly, and so that kind of just nudges them on to make sure that everything's up to date. And so you can view this today. There's instructions, just like our last grant. We use Redoc to display all the different API calls that we've categorized, by whether it's derived data, information about profiles, scenes, or developer tools. You can download a Postman collection and be able to use all of these with kind of samples right out of the box. And we've got all of the data currently being archived. You can see we've got some of the content dumps. These are the SQL backups of the table that governs all of the information needed to point you to both current and historical data. And you can see it's kind of quite a lot of data. It grows over time, and we're going to be persisting this at least for the next year, just to make sure that, it exists and the history of Decentraland is not lost. And just in the limited time, I can walk through some of the calls. We've got stuff on profiles, so you can see profile history instead of just getting a current or having to, do some kind of lookup to figure out which piece of information you need. You can query a single profile. This happens to be my address, and you'll get a list of all of the times that profile has been updated. We could do the same for scenes, so you can see a whole scene history of any time that scene was updated through time. There's a record, and so you can get the entire list of that. And if you wanted to sort of dive in and recreate the content, you can actually download this content hash from any Catalyst node that has this data, and you should be able to get those files. Going forward, there's some more interesting use cases that were posited in the DAO more recently. So someone was asking on, a ranking of how many times profiles have been updated. So we were able to produce this data where we can kind of count the most frequently updated parcels. Might be interesting to someone building some kind of visualization against that. And then we have kind of a deployments per day heat map, which we thought was interesting to be able to support, how many times the entire community updated, when are updates done more frequently than others. So if you wanted to, you can create like a GitLab kind of heat map around this. Anyway, this is just a very small subset of some of the examples. I only have a limited time to talk to you today, so if there's any questions, obviously Atlas can always be reached in our Discord, in either the Decentraland Discord or the Decentraland DAO Discord. We are hoping that people will deploy this themselves so that we are not the only stewards of this data, and that this data can live on through being housed redundantly by multiple teams. But most importantly, if there's any issues or any feedback or recommendations for other APIs or content that we might house using this API, please reach out. We're always interested in improving the service. And with that, thanks for your time. Hope you guys make good use of the service and enjoy.
Well, that was great. A round of applause for Catalyst. I put their Discord channel also in the comments. And I don't know if anyone has any question for the Grant Support Squad. This was our update for today.
Thanks a lot, Fifi. Before jumping into our open forum and some announcements and the inward meetup, I'll pass it to Gino.
Thank you so much, Fez. Hey everyone, Gino here from the Governance Squad. First of all, I would like to thank the community for voting the renewal of the budget for our grant or our core unit for the next 6 months. We are super excited for what we have ahead in the roadmap, and we started working towards it. At the moment, we are working on the second release of the social reputation system based on the soulbound tokens, like the DAO badges that we released a few weeks ago. The first release was really minor and to test the technology, the service, and the protocol. The idea now will be to start giving badges to DAO users that created governance proposals, that participate in the forums, that are part of the top voters, the monthly top voters in the DAO, that have some specific assets and things like that. I think this is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, as I said, this is a community, so social recognition, it is important. But also, we would like to see in the future, and of course, tied to a governance process, this idea of people adding value to the DAO and getting recognized with something super simple like a badge, being that part of a different way of distributing VP or maximizing VP or things related to the actual governance platform and the distribution of power. We're also working on the last release of the Intel process, which is the bids process, like the last step of the whole flow. Hopefully, we will be releasing that today. We were testing it this morning, and it looks okay. So probably you will see some communication from us later today. I would also like to acknowledge something that has been happening in the last couple of weeks. We are aware that the stability of the platform has been hit by some external services that we use, specifically Snapshot. You all know that. We've been having conversations with the Snapshot team. They are responsive and they're always there trying to fix their problems, but the reality is that the stability of the platform is not great at all. I know that some of you proposed, why don't we just build a Snapshot system on our own? First of all, it is not part of the scope of our grant. It's not like a simple task. Of course, we could do things because in the end, we are doing like a off-chain voting with on-chain reference, and we could do something. From my point of view, does not align with the ethos of participating in a wider decentralized autonomous organizations like community, not being only the only ones in the space doing something different. I think that we need to strengthen the tools that the whole Ethereum community uses to govern their projects. But it is true that the stability of the governance platform has been hit, and that's not great at all. We are going to be working in some minor things and improvements for at least better communicate our users that voting might not be available, or that the VP calculations are not accurate, or things like that. So you will see some things in the governance platform in the next couple of weeks. And finally, I would like to mention that in the last few days, I got a lot of questions related to the wider conversation regarding names and banning names on the proposals that were published yesterday and the day before. I got multiple questions regarding how the banning mechanism works, what's the impact of that, how that impacts the products that the foundation builds and maintains. We had a conversation yesterday. It was with some members of the foundation, and we got some answers regarding that, and also some commitments to specifically improving the way the ban names works with the words deploys and things like that. There's going to be probably some communication or message from the foundation side, but I would like to let the community know that that's something that has been discussed and it's going to be addressed, which I think it's a great signal of collaboration and commitment from the foundation with the things that are related to the community. So I wanted to also communicate that. I think that's it from my side. Yeah, I don't have anything else. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thanks a lot for that, Gino. And before jumping into the open forum, just want to make an announcement regarding what Nacho announced about the hands. Nikki and Doggy just reached out and they told me that if anyone needs help for updating their upper body wearables, they're going to help you for free. So if anyone from the community needs to work with that, just reach out to Nikki or Doggy. And with that said, let's jump into the open forum. So if anyone wants to ask a question to the speakers, do some comment, a statement or something, please raise your hands. I'll invite you as speakers and we can move forward. Waiting a couple of seconds more before passing it to Nat and jumping into the in-world meetup. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all for this Town Hall regular agenda. So thanks everyone for joining, and I'll pass it to Nat for activities for the in-world meetup.